Hey everybody, my name is Kyra DeLoach, and I'll be doing a book review on AJ Bird's Chasing Romeo.
Alright, it's officially a new BFF rule, which means none of us will ever date Romeo Blackwell. Bird 95. Ajane, Kyra, and Tyler are BFFs who have grown up together in Atlanta housing project. But when the girls enter the high school, the forever and best friends forever is challenged by their attraction to the hottest guy in school, Romeo Blackwell. Bird's Chasing Romeo captivates me with its relative drama and intriguing, unexpected surprises. Friendship is the underlying theme in this novel. The BFF's relationship experienced hardship due to a temporary love to the finest guy and star athlete at their new high school. This novel teaches one not to give up something real over a temporary situation. In rudimentary terms, never let a boy get in the way of a true friendship. In the end of the novel, Ajane, Kyra, and Tyler realize their bond is strong enough to survive whatever. Because of the obstacles that came their way, the girls discovered the value of their friendship and believed, we can handle anything that come our way. Bird 246. AJ Bird presented the story with a unique writing style. Bird allowed the reader to be put in the shoes of each character. For instance, instead of focusing on one person as the main character, she allowed the reader to personally get to know and understand each character. One chapter may be written from the perspective of Ajane, but the next chapter may be Romeo's take on the situation. I like this because it gives the reader more insight on each character's motives and inner self. This writing style truly gives the reader a sense of the place it's set, with the narrator's voice included. For example, the voice of the novel is relative to today's language. It is written informally, which allows a greater connection between the reader and each narrator. Each character is relative to the audience of this novel. This allows the audience to believe them as real people. The characters are like the everyday people one can find in high school. For example, Tyler is a regular high school student who goes to and from school every day with a couple of friends here and a couple of friends there. Although it's more to her story, such as means of adversity with the absence of her mother, her character is still believable. Today we live in a society where absence of one parent is normal and for the children to be affected by it. Tyler's story draws one into the book along with the others. Their imperfect personality causes one to fall in love with the text. For example, in one scene, Tyler exclaims, "What? Ain't nobody scared of you?" Bird 9. This shows the reader that Tyler is the feisty one, while Kyra, on the other hand, calmly utters, "She's not worth it." One can see that Kyra and Tyler are total opposites. Bird 10. One would conclude that Kyra is the peacemaker in the story. The setting of this novel focuses on a minority high school. The BFFs reside in the hood, Oak Hill projects, but attend a school with advantaged kids. In the novel, Tyler thought to herself, they are high class, we are low class. Bird 9. Based on the fact that I currently attend a high school that is 99% minority kids who are very fortunate, the setting greatly compares to the world I know. Although the author does not focus too much on the details of the setting, the relativeness of the book creates a mental image for one. For example, one may picture the project as multiple buildings with brown and green grass with litters of trash and imagine a high school as their own, a place filled with lockers and classrooms on each hall. This image allows the reader to feel a part of the setting. The storyline of this novel is literally based on its title, Chasing Romeo. Three BFFs, Tyler, Ajane, and Kyra, friendship is challenged immediately when high school begins. It all starts off with each girl spotting the finest guy in school and instantly crushing on him at the same time. While each girl wants Romeo to himself, their friendship goes downhill. With his crazy ex on the side and jealousy of each other, the girls are forced whether to end their friendship over a crush or stay loyal to their promise. With Tyler dealing with the absence of a mother, Kyra having to run her household, and Ajane having to cope with immaturity of her little brother, staying loyal to their agreement was not all that easy. Although they have been friends forever, the question throughout the novel is, how long is forever? This novel is comparable to Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. Just like in Chasing Romeo, Julius Caesar in his friendship with others was confronted over something that should not be able to break true bonds. This book is also comparable to the world we live in today. The women in our world are easily tempted to end a valuable friendship over a man that can only offer good looks. Even I have experienced drama with a girl over a boy who I thought was worth it and was willing to sacrifice a friendship over him. In this novel, Ajane's grandmother always offered her a meal. You want some breakfast? I could whip you up some eggs and bacon. Bird 79. Normally, she would want Ajane to sit at the table and eat with her with some conversation. This connects to acts of communion in the text, How to Read Like a Literature Professor. For example, Thomas Foster explains how whenever characters eat or drink together, it's communion. Communion scenes often force or enable the reader to emphasize with the characters. While at the table, Ajane and Granny will always share conversation. One situation in particular is when Ajane explains her feelings about the downfall of her friendship. Aji, you haven't touched your breakfast. Is something wrong? Bird 200. This created an intimate scene where the granny ends up comforting Ajane. This is all a part of growing up. Try to cheer up. Bird 203. This displays how the piece is being shared, how characters are getting along, and how communion enables characters to overcome some kind of internal obstacle, which are the key ideas of communion. It is claimed that every writer reinvents Shakespeare in some way. And this is true. In the novel Chasing Romeo, not only is Romeo represented as the dreamy character as in Shakespeare's work, but love is also hindered by outside forces. Though I am happy me and my girls are making up, I still have this one problem. I genuinely like Romeo. A lot. Bird 95. This quote shows how the girl's new BFF rule stops Ajane from being with someone she's falling hard for. And on the other hand, Romeo's ex also makes it hard for Romeo to date anyone else. Romeo is mine. He will always be mine, and I'll make sure of that. Bird 95. Romeo and Juliet were stopped from truly being together due to the hatred between families, and Bird's work easily compares. In How to Read Like a Literature Professor, Foster speaks on the biblical allusions. The Bible is a literary piece that has been copied and imitated for centuries. So many pieces of work easily allude to it. In Chasing Romeo, there were acts of betrayal. The BFFs experienced the feeling of betrayal in the midst of the novel. People are always hiding things and lying and then stabbing me in the back. Didn't we make a pact? Bird 163 to 165. This alludes to the Jesus being betrayed by Judas. Judas was once a friend of Jesus Christ who turned on him. In the text written by Bird, Ajane and Tyler both betray each other with their mischievous acts. In chapter 14 of How to Read Like a Literature Professor, Thomas Foster speaks on archetypes and Christ figures. In Chasing Romeo, Tyler's father is portrayed as a Christ figure by being unmarried, being wounded, by sacrificing himself to provide for his daughter, and by being tempted by some devil in the forest, or alcohol in his case. For instance, Tyler expresses, "Mom's leaving really did a number on him, and honestly, it's like he's overcompensating for the 8 months when she first left, and he drowned himself in alcohol." Bird 70. Tyler's father worked 41 straight days trying to be able to provide for his daughter. In the course of him working, he even got wounded with a cut on his arm. Thomas Foster explains how things can symbolically represent sex in chapter 16 of his book. He described how sex can be written in metaphors. In particular, he utters how wrestling can symbolize acts of sex. In one scene of Chasing Romeo, Romeo and Ajane do a one-on-one basketball game during their private lessons. Soon, I keep bumping against his back or butt at every turn. Then I jigged when I should have jagged, and I end up flat on my back with air racing out of my lungs and pain recocketing throughout my body. Bird 129 through 130. This moment then leads to their first kiss. This was an intimate scene which concluded the love that they felt for each other. In conclusion, A.J. Bird successfully written a novel that her audience will truly enjoy. I recommend this book to any girl approaching or in her teenage years. It easily teaches a valuable lesson that many can truly learn from with its relativeness and unique style.